Let's face it, Call of Duty is dying a slow, painful death. But why, you may ask? What could be causing all of this to our beloved COD franchise? Good question. On today's video, I'm going to break down the top 10 things that are killing the Call of Duty franchise on a video that begins right now. What's up, what's good, YouTube? Hope all is well, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Hoppa, and on today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the top 10 reasons why Call of Duty is dying, and more specifically, all that is wrong with MW2 and Warzone 2. From the little things that are mildly annoying, to the game breakers that make all of us want to quit this game, like many already have. Hope you guys enjoy the video more than you enjoy Call of Duty's current state, which actually isn't that hard of a task. So if you do end up enjoying the video, do me a huge favor, drop a like on it, and if you're new around here and want to see more content just like this, or to be notified when I go live, make sure you're subscribed to the channel with the notification bells on. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Starting us off on this glorious list, reason number 10, Call of Duty is dying. The lack of content. Existing content within this game is mostly recycled from previous COD titles. It's either recolored or reskinned, and what is new is mostly just the artists displaying that they're completely tone deaf to what the general population within the COD community actually finds attractive. And also that same community finds the content that they're actually getting, well, flat out butt ugly. I've already made a video on why there's a lack of content within Modern Warfare 2 and why it's only gonna get worse. Link to that video is in the description below. But it feels like a lack of effort on the art department's behalf. There's no way you can convince me that these guys are overworked, because if they are, then I'd say either you gotta replace them or possibly even hire another 3,000 devs. Because the recycled content that we've gotten thus far is much worse than the original versions of it that came from older COD games. And not only the art department is lacking, but the game is so piss poorly optimized, it wouldn't matter anyways. I mean, it looks like every other attempt that they've had in the last 4 years, it just results in awful attempts at making stunning visuals and beautiful graphics. It does look extremely good at high settings, but yeah, have fun with 40 FPS without a severe overclock. And also, good luck on keeping it from crashing after you've overclocked or, dev erroring every other game. This game is just absolutely boring. There's nothing to grind. I mean, other than Orion, but after you're done with that, it's pretty much over, because everything else that they've got, as far as content and things to unlock, was simply thrown behind a paywall. There's nothing to grind for, unless you're one of the unfortunate ones that get addicted to the punishment of Warzone, or the new and cheater-infested Modern Warfare 2 ranked mode, or, other than becoming a DMZ player, which, by the way, even Party DMZ is now behind a paywall, and you enjoy fighting AI bots that coincidentally have better aim and recoil control than 95% of the player base, running into the occasional player that never wants to fight, but's always saying some dumb shit like, "Hey man, we're just trying to complete your message, bro. We do not want any problem. Why you shooting at me, bro?" And a lot of what we just talked about leading to our number 9 pick. COD is so boring, and subsequently it's causing an overall declining interest in COD and Warzone content creation. And that's actually due to one main reason: the lack of ability to outplay your opponents using any form of movement. Everybody's equal. You can't even break somebody's camera, which, by the way, there was a defense for, but who cares? Completely boring now. COD and Warzone content creators are falling off at an extremely rapid pace, simply because who wants to watch tactical, methodical, and smart gameplay? I mean, myself and my audience probably does, but the 20-year-old and unders want fast-paced, action-packed, fueled by Adderall, dripping with ball sweat type of gameplay. Haven't y'all seen a sweaty Fortnite player build and edit? That shit gives me absolute motion sickness, but it's what the kids crave. Their attention span is virtually non-existent. Hence, one of the reasons platforms promoting short-form content like TikTok and YouTube Shorts are growing at astronomical rates. It all comes down to the newness, and that newness wears off faster than whatever drugs they give Joe Biden to stimulate him long enough to stay lucid and awake for one of his speeches. So miss me with that, you just need to adapt. Fuck that. Call the game something else. Don't call it Call of Duty. This crock of shit isn't Call of Duty. Call it Crouch Walk negative 2.0. Yeah, that's much more fitting. And speaking of fitting, our number 8 spot, the new Resurgence map, Ashika Island. It's deplorable. Ashika suck my balls is more like it. How much fun is it to land with 40 other dudes on 6 guns? Probably why they made the ability to 2-tap melee somebody while they're laser beaming you with literally any gun in the game. What person at Ravensoft IW or High Moon Studios thought to themselves, you know what I think would be awesome and people would love to death? If every time you fired your gun, you got at least 8 sweaty dudes come rushing down your throat. Like every gunfight, the moment it pops off, dudes just pop out of the fucking wall balls ready to bust your ass. Feels like Megan Hall designed this map.
What did he say?
Like seriously, I love fast-paced old school COD, but with the TTK being so low, what's the point? Which brings us to number 7. The low TTK. Listen, I know now, since playing on controller and being a mouse and keyboard player as well, the TTK is greatly affected by aim assist in close to medium range fights. But the trade-off is, or it should be, on mouse and keyboard, it's much easier to hit those nasty snipes at long range. And on controller, I'll be honest, I can't snipe for shit. But it doesn't matter when you can't, minus the Invictus incendiary rounds, one-shot kill anybody that's fully plated. I mean, one-shot sniping has literally created communities. It's its own playstyle, forcing people into a uniform playstyle, especially with the removal of any meaningful movement mechanics, forcing more players to play a uniform playstyle should they want to win or, even have any fun. But with the narratives being pushed by Activision and their dev studios, it's surprising that they aren't pushing more players to not only play alike, but think alike as well, which leads us into our number 6 spot. The wokeness. Literally everything that they touch reeks of smug wokeness. From the, as Ghost of 8 so elegantly put it, content promoting potato, elephant, dog, orange in the Lunar New Year bundle, to the lack of representation for all groups of people, limiting their inclusivity to those that are of the alphabet communities. But screw your patriotic pride and screw America, right? Or perhaps any sort of nationalism from any country, from anybody that's proud that they're a part of that nation. Because the only nation's flag that I see in this game is an American one that's on the ground burning. And that in itself, honestly, to be honest with you guys, makes me want to go download cheats and try to make as many people as I can quit this deplorable fucking franchise once and for all. But sadly, I've learned from the first time around, the majority of us in the COD community are absolute morons. So to simplify my and many other sentiments regarding the situation, dude, we just want to play a fucking video game with the homies where we shoot each other and call each other cute little terms of endearment through the death comms like you nerd, or you're such a or the always famous comeback, you're so bad you just need to your own. Coming in at number 5, the big map, Al Mazrah, feels like a reskinned version of Caldera. Just as with Caldera, the center of the map is the highest point, and virtually everything else is downhill. And the majority of the COD community's mother's not loving them if they don't get 5 kills before the first circle starts to close in. It kind of takes the fun out of anything else, because unless you drop your sweaty little ass at observatory, you're always fighting from a height disadvantage. High ground typically wins the battles, and with that being the case in Al Mazrah, you're fucked if the zone pulls you towards the center. Prepare to get gatekept by Nasty Nate and his brand new Logitech G502 and his Invictus sniper with incendiary rounds, because fuck aim assist. But none of that matters when it comes to our number 4 spot on our list of top 10 reasons why Call of Duty is dying. Number 4, COD patents. We all know about the patents Activision has pulled, hundreds of them, to protect, at the end of the day, essentially, their unique ways of manipulating the outcome of virtually every aspect of your game. Systems and methods for controlling microtransactions in multiplayer video games, systems and methods for controlling camera perspectives, movements, and displays of video game gameplay, systems and methods for real-time customization of video game content based on player data, systems and methods for improved content generation in multiplayer gaming environments, system and methods for incentivizing team cooperation in multiplayer gaming environments, to name a few that have to deal with manipulating the outcome of our experiences on this game. There are many methods and areas in which they employ these tactics, and many of you guys have all heard the buzz terms: skill-based matchmaking, skill-based hit registration, skill-based audio, engagement-based matchmaking. Ever got into a gunfight in Warzone and after you get killed, you go back and slow down the footage and count the amount of shots and do the math on how much damage you outputted versus how much they outputted, and come to the conclusion that it's impossible for you to be the one that lost in that scenario? Well, you're not alone. They literally have patents based on whether or not the engagement optimized matchmaking algorithm thinks that you need to win to stay hooked, and other patents that allow them to manipulate yours and others' experiences and outcomes within this game. When Activision said that this was going to be the most advanced COD title ever, I think that they were much more referring to the advancements in their abilities to control the outcomes of our experiences by manipulating certain aspects of our games, all in an attempt to keep us hooked like fiends, addicted to the cycle of abuse that Call of Duty has become. Coming in at number 3, the audio.
Loud noises!
Everything is extremely loud, especially the unnecessary audio. Seems like the audio engine is completely incapable of prioritizing audio streams that we as players want to hear, like footsteps, leaving many to have to acquire a master's degree in audio engineering just so that they can tune 31 different amps to give them the ability to hear Timmy No Thumb sprinting at him with his Doof Doof 2.0. It took me like 3 whole days of trial and error just to get the audio to an area that I felt would be at least somewhat beneficial in giving me audio indications that somebody was near me because I could hear them, and not the 87 planes and 6,000 plus explosions happening on the other side of the fucking map. And you know what conclusion I came to about what audio settings are best for Warzone 2.0? None. Turn it off. Get yourself some wall hacks. I mean, that's what a lot of people are doing. But honestly, all these videos about what the best audio settings for Warzone 2.0, oh my God, I can finally hear people walking. Insert, I just saw grandma naked facial expression. And on top of that tragedy, the missing audio cues, of course, not seeing grandma naked, looking like a hairless hound dog, although equally as scary, is what's in our number 2 spot. Number 2, the pay to win aspects. I know. It's not pay to win. It's pay to have a better experience. Maybe less challenging experience to win, but in my mind and the mind of others, it's all the same. It's pay to have fun. This game is literally pay to win in virtually almost every aspect. Don't believe me? Okay. Next time you hear the Doof Doof 2.0 going off, push them fellers without a Doof Doof as your weapon. Get back to me. Tell me how that worked out for you. And then next time you have 20 bucks to burn and your lobbies are getting so sweaty, you're on the verge of rage quitting, go on and grab you some COD points. Hop in a match after that. And let me know down in the comments what your new personal record is. And I can already hear the Turbo nerds tapping in the comments right now. Craig Hopper, the right side and the hemlock are free for everybody. Oh yeah, thanks nerd, because I actually got the extra 20 hours it takes to level up the Expedite 12 shotgun to level 28 for the Dragon's Breath rounds, considering that 90% of this game's player base either has work or school and can't play 12 hours a day and 7 days a week. Most will just buy the battle pass and unlock it all much faster, or even the full MW2 game just to level up the requirements so they can run the meta weapons and, you know, be able to actually compete with people that have no lives. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure this was the plan from its inception. Everything is to funnel you into spending more money. And, well, this has been the story of how Plunder got shit canned. And the number 1 reason Call of Duty is dying slow, painful death, you guessed it, the fucking cheaters. From Cronus users to aimbotters and wall hackers, from desperate for attention kids who crash in DDoS lobbies to TikTokers using unlock tools and mid-tier streamers using VPNs to boost their naturally 1.5 KDs to that of a 3 or above, squaring off against handicapped kids and Call of Shame fans. And not only the cheaters, but the sheer amount of absolute morons that wouldn't know if it was aim assist or an aimbot, even if they saw the little red boxes around the player enemies. Side note, if they got walls, they got aimbot, and for most cases an unlock tool. And if they use a decent provider, a built-in spoofer to protect their hardware ID. But they wouldn't know that because they lack the experience of someone who has used almost every software available and even worked behind the scenes with some providers in the past, such as I have. Asking a pro player or even a big streamer who is or isn't cheating is like asking who is or isn't their friend or who they wouldn't be willing to throw under the bus. Just in the same way that I don't make tips and tricks and loadout meta videos because I lack that knowledge, they should shut the fuck up about the things of which they lack the knowledge of. But somehow they remain experts in the field of who is and isn't cheating. And people like you and I are just haters that are mad that we have to work 9 to 5 and don't have the time to get really good at a video game playing 12 hours a day. Because being good at a video game, now that's real life validation. So if I could say anything to the, you know, the quote unquote big streamers that make fun of people that think everybody cheat when they and I both know that that's not what's being said, I'd have to call on wise words and remind them of something said by one of the world's greatest and most respected minds in Albert Einstein when he once said, the only source of knowledge is experience. Catch you guys on the next one. Mahalo. I hate this game!